Contagious Curiosity presents The Doomsday Clock. A look at reality through metaphor.
Is our world inching toward a catastrophe as claimed by many? If we were to believe the Doomsday Clock, we are just 90 seconds away from an apocalypse. The Doomsday Clock is ticking, and is closer to midnight than ever before. So, what is the Doomsday Clock and what does it symbolize? Despite what it is called, the Doomsday Clock is not an actual clock. Instead, it is a graphical depiction of how close the mankind is to the end of the world. This metaphorical timepiece reflects on the man-made dangers and is a reminder of how we must address them for our survival on this planet. Moving the clock forward indicates an urgent need for vigilance, and midnight signals a hypothetical point of annihilation. So, what led to the creation of this iconic clock? The history of the Doomsday Clock goes way back to the Second World War. In 1942, the U.S. government officially began its secret mission Manhattan Project to create the first atomic bomb in response to German scientists' discovery of nuclear fission. However, the scientists who were a part of the Manhattan Project had misgivings about the implications of using atomic energy from the beginning. They warned the government of the potential threat of using an atom bomb, but it fell to deaf ears. In 1945, the U.S. bombed the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which the scientists called the greatest blunder of history. In the aftermath of these bombings, a group of scientists founded the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists as a non-profit organization. They realized the magnanimity of destruction that these nuclear weapons could cause to the human race, and wanted to put in the picture among the public. As the bulletin expanded, the editors tried to appeal to a wider audience, and the co-editor asked a bulletin member, Martel Langsdorff, to design a cover for the June 1947 edition. Martel soon gauged from the meetings the urgency of the scientists to inform the public about the consequences of the nuclear technology. Weighing the gravity of the situation, she sketched the memorable Doomsday Clock. Its hands set at 7 minutes to midnight to reflect the existential threats facing humanity. The Doomsday Clock was created at a time when nuclear weapons posed the biggest threat to the world, with the United States and Soviet Union racing ahead in the nuclear arms race. So, who sets the Doomsday Clock? The Bulletin's Science and Security Board, consisting of scientists and other experts, set the hands of the clock. The group meets twice every year to discuss world events, and sets the clock in January every year. In the present day, the Bulletin works towards combating various existential threats, primarily focusing on nuclear risk, climate change, disruptive technologies, and biosecurity. All these factors are taken into consideration while adjusting the clock annually. The hands of the clock are moved closer to or further away from midnight based on the scientists' reading of the dangers at a particular time. It is intriguing to note the change in hands of the clock over the past 76 years. Here's a quick look at that. 1947, Doomsday Clock was created and set at 7 minutes to midnight. 1949, Soviet Union's first nuclear test. The clock moved closer and was set at 3 minutes to midnight. 1953, U.S. tests the first hydrogen bomb. The clock moved closer and was set at 2 minutes to midnight. 1969, World signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. The clock moved away and was set at 10 minutes to midnight. 1991, end of the Cold War. The hands of the clock were furthest from midnight in 1991 with the end of the Cold War, when both the US and Soviet Union signed the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. to significantly reduce their nuclear arms arsenals. 2002 concerns after September 11th terrorist attack. The clock moved closer and was set at 7 minutes to midnight. 2007 North Korea conducted nuclear test. The clock moved closer and was set at 5 minutes to midnight. 2015 unchecked climate change, with Earth enduring the hottest year on record. The clock moved closer and was set at 3 minutes to midnight. This year, the scientists reset this iconic clock at 90 seconds to midnight, the closest ever to midnight, largely, not exclusively, intensified by the Ukraine-Russia war. The current doomsday clock paints a scary picture of our existence and compels us to reflect on our actions. We need to turn back the clock and make our planet a safer place to live in. Is it a possibility or just a woolly dream? What are your thoughts on this?